Welcome, all you +2 comedy modifiers, back to the stream. Welcome back to the Master Theorems. Let me get the book. These are puzzles coming from the Master Theorem. Full screen this. This is a cool book that was created by the mysterious M, who we don't know who M is, but M has created these puzzles for everyone, including me, to solve. And we're going to go deep back into the book and try to solve more of M's Master Theorems as I carelessly throw it onto the ground. Now, you may notice that Dum Dum here made a mistake, and he didn't save any of the work that we've done previously. So I have another puzzle we can do if we don't want to retread through this musical puzzle, or we can continue to try to solve this music puzzle. It's up to you guys. But we did take the time to kind of do some notation on this. We basically found what type of note every note is, and also what letter or note each note is. That's confusing. And we did that, and we didn't really figure anything out. We found out that it seemed like it wasn't a full bar in the beginning, and other than that, we didn't have a lot to go on. So I have a fresh puzzle we can do if we're tired of music puzzles, because I'm not good at music puzzles. Also, I got this pulled up again so we can look through this once again and try to really notate everything. And also, I got the hints up. You have an SS of oh, do you? I have ass of your work? Why do you have ass of my work? Yeah, if you want to send over the previous work, that would be great. It's a screenshot. And we're back. We got more information. Luckily, Lisa was nice enough to screenshot our previous work. And now I can make this bigger by zooming in on it. Windows 11 has not been impressing me, just so you know. Not a big fan of it. All right, let me get rid of this. There we go. So this is what we got. I've been thinking about this a good deal, and I don't think we're doing enough math, because let's reread the statement here. From Tchaikovsky to Taylor Swift, humans have a thing for music. Some, like me, also have a thing for puzzles and codes. Where the two overlap, it's undeniably enjoyable as the Beatles meet the Da Vinci Code. In 2009, a Scottish woodcarver discovered a Renaissance-era wood panel engraved with a code that turned out to be a musical notation. Experts believe musicians would improvise on the basic tune encoded on the panel while performing for the royal family. It doesn't stop there. Scholars discovered that Plato seemed to be a special music scale to encrypt his radical ideas on math. It's strange. I just saw the movie Reminiscence, and this is kind of very similar to a plot point in Reminiscence. It's an okay movie. If you like Hugh Jackman, give it some time. Nature of the Universe and some of the other writings, sadly a necessity at the time after the persecution of his homeboy and my personal hero, Socrates. Sometimes it goes in the other direction. Part of why I'm so intrigued by encoding puzzles in strains of music that they overlap with music and math. Numbers are everywhere in music, down to the difference between quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. So I think that's important that we make that distinction. This tradition has been around for a long time. Machuk and Beck, and have been known to offer up puzzles in their music, leaving it to the ensemble to figure out where the piece should be. For my part, I figure music is its own language. Why not make it literally say something? This is Today M. Okay, so did you add your own notes here? Because I don't remember all these notes. I don't remember the 3. Well, no, I guess 3/4 note. Like that's a 3/4 note. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? There's no such thing as a 3/4 note. That's okay. I'm just trying to remember what I remember. Do you have any theories of what any of this means? Because I am clueless. I'm clueless enough that I'm considering a clue. You solved it! Okay, so I'll yell out some theories if you want to point me in the correct direction. I want to use math more than anything. So there's part of me. What was the idea from last time? Remind me, Spam. Because we talked about turning letters into numbers, right? Or adding up the notes. Yes! We were going to add up the notes and then which we kind of did because it was like, we got 4, I think was the magic number. We got like 4 3/4 or something. Then multiplying with the duration? Because the tempo is 4/4. Right. And we found out like this was 4. This was 4. Oh, we did this. I know we did. That's a whole note. Damn it. You come here. You come here and be smaller. Beep. Okay, so I'm not covering this with my big dumb head right now, am I? A little bit. Let me try to slide this down a smidge. Okay. Look at the image in the book. I mean, I can just zoom out. Zoom out. Yeah, there is a piano here, as if we're supposed to play this on a piano. You got the word song in your name. You should easily be able to get this. But I know, where's my marker here? We kind of made the idea, this is a quarter, this is a half, this is a quarter. So this would be 4/4. I need to be on this layer. So this would be 4/4. Half, quarter, quarter. 4/4. And then half, this is a full note, or a whole note, so this is 4/4 just alone. Boom. This was a half hold, I think is what Proc told us. So that was 4/4. These are eighth notes, so 1/8, 2/8, so a fourth, then that's a fourth, and this is a half. And then half, quarter, hold. See, we did something like this. Yeah, Proc, weren't you talking to us about music? Or do I have you mixed up with someone else? Because we had the idea that this was A alone, and then we had F, we had G, F, F, G. Trying to see what your notations were here to see if I can get a clue. Right, I or A, right. Right. We eventually had this idea of two G's, and if it ended in Mahjong, I promised to eat a can of Spam. That's how it ended. Figure out what you try to do with the black letters. Yeah, I'm looking at that, but I'm not gaining anything from it. You have no idea what's happening, Proc? Okay. I guess I had... Maybe it was Matthias that was here. But yeah, we had the idea that this was A... And then the next one I have is FG, which I had some idea that we're supposed to take the letters and like subtract them or add them together maybe. Like an F and a G together would be this is a good look for me, right? Like, if you add them together and then move through the alphabet, F and G together would be N? N, maybe? I don't know. Yes, thank you, Spam. My brain. My brain's not working, guys. Are we pro this idea? Like we say this is A, and then this would be N. The problem I don't like about this is then it has nothing to do with identifying the notes. Because this is B and E. I'm good at breaking and entering. Which would be 2, 5, 5, 6, 7. E would be G. This is a bunch of stuff. This is D, G, E, C. But then times 2? What, times 2 because of the 2 notes? Right now, I'm just kind of adding. Because this is... I'm going to zoom in again. Let me zoom in. No, what did I just say? We're zooming in. So this was D, G, E, C. So that would be 3 plus 5 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. Plus G, 12, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the 18, and then 18 letters J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. This is not working. No to whatever's happening. Zoom out. Why are you calling me lazy if I'm doing the work? That's the opposite of lazy. That doesn't mean it's correct, but I'm putting in effort. Where did all my letters go? Okay, so let's start over. A. We got that one figured out. F plus G would be M. Am. B plus E, 5, 6, 7. E, F, G would be G. And like, this is the one I dislike the most because you could just have a G note. This is a very confusing way to write G. So, what if it's backwards? We have been playing with the idea that it's backwards because that kind of verbiage was in the puzzle. But again, we end up with this. And the double, like, there's certainly nothing that starts with two G's. But then I guess we could also... We also could... Ligma? Ligma? It's literally one of my favorite jokes. There's the idea, I guess we could apply the note to it. Like if this is a G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 7. 7's not a good number because I was going to say now we cut it in half, but what's the 3.5 letter of the alphabet? Good. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get there, you know? But like, unless should we look at them? Because this is BG. Hold on. Let's work from the back, just real quick, just because this makes it work, right? So that's a G, that's a G. This is BG, so you have G, H, I. So ignore this, ignore all of this, and this becomes an I, right? Okay. Now, if it's 1/4 is an I, 1/2 is a G, and one, like, let's add them together and then divide by 4? Maybe? Because that would be one note, or that'd be one measure or tempo, or I don't know music. I is 9. E, F, G. G is 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 9 is 25, which we then divide by 4, which... Damn it! 9, G is 7. Yeah. I really wanted to divide this by 4 and make it work. It no work this way. Take another spinach smoothie sip. Spam, you think you got part of this? I just ignored the double notes. They're weird. Yeah, I mean, here's the issue, right? If we ignore double notes, this could just be another G. If we ignore notation, then they're both G's. So it's very, very confusing. Yeah, I definitely think this is... I think it's 3 words. I think this is word 1, word 2, word 3. I think... Oh, I missed... There's also the... What's the dot mean behind them? The dot behind them means something. I don't think it's GG. What I'm saying is, this is a G note and this is a G note. Half of that value. Like half... means... What? 1.5. So maybe I'm just screwing up my fractions here? If a quarter has a dot, then it's half plus an eighth. Oh my God, I hate music. So, if this is G or 7, this is 1.5. So it's 10.5, you're saying? Like, am I following you here, Spam? No, it doesn't have a dot. You're right. You're right. You're right. It doesn't. But I guess we could... So, we consider this a 14. So, instead of a G... J... K, L, M, N... Ooh, I like that. I like when words end in ing. Because that's what words end with. So we could say it's a verb. All right, bring it home. Bring it home. Let's bring this home, baby. So, am big gaming. All right, so we got ing. This is supposedly, according to my old notations, ed. So we add those together, which is 9, which is I again. But because they're half notes, it's 18. I'm working backwards as suggested by me. This is 9, but because they're half notes, we're doubling it to 18. So J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. This was just an E. God damn it, you're right. It's an R. There you go. E R. All right, that makes me feel good. Let me get rid of this. I'm just going to scratch this out. ER is a good letter blend that I like. Let's go back down to this. This was AE. So that's 6. So we would believe that is F. Furring. This is supposed to be another easy one because it's 1. This could be another F, which that can be a word. Sure. Okay, I'm going to screw this one up. E, but we double that to 10, but there's a dot, which makes it times 1.5, right? So that makes it 15. J, K, L, M, N, O. Offering. A something offering. All right, let's look back over this one. I'm already just happy I'm not eating a can of Spam. So we believe this to be M. So, right, that was still correct. F, yeah, that should still be right. This is okay. Okay, we could do this, Noah. We could do this. B, yeah, that gets to G, which is 7. E, F, G. So it's 7. But we double that to 14. And then we add, now that we've got 14, times that by 1.5, and you get 21. J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U. This could, a music offering? Okay. All right. Feeling good. Feeling good in the neighborhood. Okay. So this is, oh man, we did this math already once. E is 5 plus C is 8 plus G, which is 7, is 15 plus D, which is 19. So J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Yes. S. All right. This is working out. This is a C, but we double that, so that becomes 6. So this becomes 9, which becomes I. This is an F, but it's an 8th note. I think it's a musical offering. If I was on Wheel of Fortune, I'd solve. I wouldn't spin again. Yes. Website, tell me I'm smart. Cool. Offering. You've really ended this one on a high note. Check out High Note Humor tonight at the Tap Room Bar and Grill for a 9-year anniversary show. You've known this the whole time. Thanks, Brock. All right. Oh, I should use this website more. We got another one we could do, so let's do that one. It's time. Disregard all the changes. Thank you for sending me the screenshot, by the way. Let's do some ethical hacking. This one's supposedly harder than our previous ones. This is a red level puzzle. We don't need this anymore, so I don't want to cover the chat anymore. All right, we don't have a lot of time, but we'll do this for a little bit. Here we go. Despite my deep love for this country and my many years of dedicated service for our government, I recognize that our politicians can sometimes fail us. Yeah, they're called resistors. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll read this out loud, but I'll look up here. This way you guys can kind of view this if you want to play along. I'll zoom out a little bit as well because I'm cutting off some of this. There you go. Whether due to ignorance or the intentional disregard for science and data, they often make decisions and policies that are clearly bad for the country, harmful to the planet, or even suppress whole groups of people. The most important way to combat this, of course, is to be well informed and make good decisions at the ballot box. But between you and me, these are the words of M and not myself. I'm going to say that now before I continue because I feel like we're going down a bad road here. Between you and me, there's also other ways to push back when simply voting isn't enough. I spent years in the cyber warfare unit of an agency that shall remain unnamed. Anonymous even. Working to overthrow oppressive governments around the world, and I realized something profound. When you have a fluency in science, engineering, and how stuff works in general, you have a lot more power than you realize. In your case, say you're a whiz with electronics and you know a new, highly guarded bill relating to the environment is about to be presented to Congress. You suspect some shady business is going on, and you need to get your environmental lobbyist friends prepared for some immediate action. Now, of course, I'm not advocating to actually do this, nor is me, nor is Noah Houlihan, but again, these are the words of M. But you could, hypothetically speaking, pretend to apply for an internship with a key senator and get invited for an interview, stealthily snatch a thumb drive from his briefcase while he's not looking, use your circuit bending know-how to solder a few jump wires into the right place, and the next time he plugs it into his computer, gain remote access to all his files so you can read the bill for yourself and be prepared to lobby against the dastardly deal to turn the Everglades into a golf resort. I wouldn't call this cyber warfare necessarily, but ethical hacking, perhaps. All right, so let's figure this out. So my guess is we're going to reverse engineer what everything's going to become based off of the outputs that we're seeing here. So this is dastardly, but I think we can do this. So this is the most straightforward one we have. The Y went through this and came out a B. That's big. That's big information. So this is either I would say that the purple is either minus, or it's probably plus. It's either plus 3 or minus 25 down to 2, so 23. 22. No, 23. That's my theory so far. I don't know if we need to actually like Google schematics and kind of figure this out. But that's the only straight shot we really have here. Like look up schematics. What the symbol means. All right, I was going to just try to brute force it, but circuit board meanings. Images. Circuit board resistors. Resistor. You know, I don't have it planned. I don't have it planned what number 1000 would be. Because, I mean, we just, 900 just came up, so we're looking at 100 weeks? 200 weeks? Because 5 videos come out a week. No, my math is all screwed up right now. Oh my God. 5 videos come out a week. So in 20 weeks, it would be number 1000. Maybe I should do something. Whoa, what is that move? It's the bottom left of the last search. All right, let me go back. Oh, this guy. Here we go. Well, don't. I want to just view the image, please. Open, not link. Where's open image? Was there not open image? Like, damn it. But it doesn't have it, of course. Be quiet, robot. Nobody's asking you anything. I mean, it kind of looks like some of these. Oh. I actually missed all the things you searched. I apologize. This robot is really aggressive in trying to talk to me. Yeah, I apologize for not seeing that. I'm asleep at the wheel. Ooh, I'm already not liking what I'm seeing. Oh, there's gonna be so much math. Hey, look at this. That looks familiar. Don't need that rightmost one. That one? All right, good. I was just gonna brute force it. I mean, let's look back at it. I think I don't remember my science enough. Yeah, I don't know it either. I think we're all in agreement that like D is being fed through this, being combined with E that's coming through here, and that action is turning into J. Boink. This just in from spam. Okay, so this is an inductor. This is a resistor. Okay, so that's important because we see those symbols. Like, I'm going to guess this is an inductor. This is a resistor. This is a gate. I don't know what this guy, I guess, is this one. Is an inverter, not gate. An inverter. Interesting. So, oh, okay. So this puts it through a flipped. This flips it. So we know that now. Because Y is the second last to the last letter of the alphabet. It goes through the inverter and it becomes a B. Yes. All right. I like that. So, whoopsie. What would the rest of them do? The gates all seem to bring two things into one. So, knowing what we know, J, K, L, M, N, O. So it's the 15th letter. Well, here. ZA cipher or whatever. At bash. Yes. Okay. So O would become an L. So O hits this and becomes an L, which we see right here. All right, so we know what the purple things do. The purples are inverters. We know that. We know that the O gets inverted into an L and comes in here and combines with the M and comes out a B. So that means it has to go in to the converter as a Y. Right? You guys still with me? So O comes in here. So L and M come out together as a Y. L and M come out together as a Y. All right, hold on. So O and M. Can I always just search it as an image so I can just stare at it. It's so much easier. Or is it? I think I did this one. A1 Z26 cipher chart. Thank you. Okay, so we know that the O is coming in here, getting flipped to an L and coming here. So M and L. Right. M and L. M and L are $13 plus 12. 13 plus 12, so that's 25. So that's a Y. And then it goes through the converter and comes out of a B, as a B. Okay, so we know that the green things just combine the numbers. All right, so we know the purples flip them, the greens combined. Great. It also looks like this little notation here means that they're not actually connected. So it flips in here, gets flipped over, comes down, gets flipped over again, becomes a no. So, awesome. All right, so now we have to figure out what this does, the pink. E, F, G. It could just add 1. It could add 1. That would make sense if it added 1. Because E goes through this, becomes F, goes through this, becomes G. Boom. E goes through this, becomes F, or 6, meets D, which is 4, and then becomes J, which is 4 plus 6, which is 10, which is J. So we think this is a +1. All right. We're doing well. We got to figure out the blue, and we got to figure out the yellow. And then it's just a matter of solving. We know this is becoming a C. This is coming out as a C, and then this is coming out as a D. How's it coming out as a D? That means it's only adding 1, which means that blues are -1s. That's a -1. And we could try to prove it again here. So E, D, C, B. So it's a B, it's a 2 when it comes in here. It meets the 6, which is the F, becomes an 8, which is an H. Excellent. Okay. We got to figure out this yellow thing. That's all we got to do is figure out this yellow thing. Okay, so we know when the E hits the yellow thing here, going straight down, it goes into this as a D. We also know E, or D, C. It goes into this as a C. I guess the leap we could make that it's 1 minus it's D minus C. Whatever the arrow is then subtracted, and then you get the A. I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so let's try to solve this as quickly as possible. I only got 3 minutes. J is 10. This is 7, so this goes in as 17. This goes through this as 18. And 18 is an R. G hits this, gets -1, becomes a 6, becomes an F. F then gets minused by another 1, which is A. So that's an E. E makes sense. That seems word-like. A comes down here, gets combined with, this is an H, but it drops 1. Let's do 7. Yeah, it becomes a 7. So this becomes an 8. 8 then flips So, wait, yes, hold on. 1, yeah, this just stays an H, because this is -1, and then this is +1, so it becomes an H. H then flips and becomes an S. I bet it's going to be resistance as well. Ethical hacking, ethical hacking, ethical hacking. Boom. Vive la resistance! Excellent work. And with less than a minute to spare, we solved it. M didn't realize we were all going to be playing Wordle nonstop when we were solving his book. And that's just how our brains work now. It's like, I see these letters computing resistance. Yes! Big brain. Big brain Noah. Big brain. We did it. Good job, team. We have really big brains. Trying to be a better streamer. But thank you so much for joining us here for another edition of the Master Theorems. Do you want more of these? Let me know. I don't have any more loaded up, so I'd have to do some more scanning and some stuff like that. But I really enjoy this, and yeah, it's real fun, and it's good to work with you guys on something you guys don't all know the answers for. It's good to be a team instead of you guys all watching like, is he going to get it? Is he? I don't think he is. So maybe we'll do more of these, but I do have to get back to the witness eventually. The Wednesday is usually for the witness. Pardon me. Thursday is for Baba Is You. Friday is for Inscription. Monday is for the Not Prawn Weeklies, also known as Ignomatics. And exclusively on Patreon on Tuesdays, it's the Not Prawn Riddle Classic. And also, Before Your Eyes stream comes when we get 400 subscribers. We just got a new subscriber, Baba, I believe. Suspiciously. So thank you so much for subscribing. So be sure to subscribe so you can get a notification next time we go do one of these things, and so you can catch up on all my past live streams. And we will see you all next time.